I'm doing a short review today because I have treated myself and got not one new Oliso iron, but two. So these are the boxes they came in, but of course I couldn't wait to do an actual unboxing video, and I've already taken them out of the box. So I bought the travel iron and then the regular iron for home. So I'll just move the boxes out of the way and show you the real thing. This is the Oliso Mini Project Iron. Now, if you're only interested in a review of the larger iron, just skip ahead to part 2. I call this my travel iron because I bought it to take to my sewing groups that I go to. And it does come with this user's manual. Hi Jess. This is to replace my old iron, which I've had for actually several years. This is my old iron. It actually came from Walmart. It was extremely cheap, and I have so had my value for money out of this iron. So I'm kind of sad to get rid of this little thing because it's done so great. But Oliso has got such a good reputation. I have a good friend who highly recommended it, and so I thought, well, I'll give it a try. It comes with this little sole plate here to stand on. When you pack it away, it fits into there. When you're using it, you turn it over and it just sits on the top. These buttons are for the steam burst, and your control of how high the setting is right here. You just turn the knob. So 2 and 3 you can steam on. 3 is really the cotton setting. I'm probably just going to leave it on 3 because that's really all I'm going to do with this is stuff for quilting. It's got a nice plate. I think it said this was ceramic and steam and everything. This little number here, 120, is to do with the country that you're plugging it in. So I'm in the USA. It came set on 120, but it can be changed if you're in a different country that uses the different system. Here's a little window where you can see how much water you've got in there. I haven't actually used this with steam yet. Let me open that up. That's where you pour your water in. And just regular tap water is what it recommends to use. Now, I really don't usually use steam very much, especially not when I'm taking it away to a sewing group. But I'm going to put some in and try it out and see how it does. It feels kind of odd, but that's just because I'm not used to it. The way you hold it, it just feels so different. I know that's just something I'm going to get used to with time. So I'm going to put that back in the holder, which you slide that bit in first and then hook it on there. Let's try this little travel iron here. Let's pick that up. I'm just going to carefully pour that into there. I'm just putting a little bit in just to try it out. There we go. And, oh, I better stand it on the base. Okay, and plug it in. And we just wait for it to warm up. This flashes until it's hot enough to steam. So we'll wait for that to heat up and then we'll see what it does. And just got a couple of pieces here, pretty creased up material to try it out on. Alright, it stopped flashing, so that should be warm now. Just put that to the side there. And let's try this and see how it goes. And as you can see, that's doing really well. I can't hear the steam coming out, but it's obviously steaming it because I'm getting such a good result. Let's try the steam burst. For the button to light up. Oh, there it goes. So now it's ready to do the steam burst. Aha! Okay, there it goes. I just wasn't pressing the buttons in the right place. Okay. You hear it? Okay. So let's have a look at this pretty creased up piece, see what we can do with it. Just give it some steam. That sounds like a pretty good steam, doesn't it? And I'll work on this a little bit more, but I'm pleased with that for a travel line. I think that's a pretty good job. So that's 5 stars for the Oliso Project Iron. I might just get all my fabric scraps out and press them, all these scrunched up ones. So I know that'll make some of my viewers very happy who always say, why don't you press all your pieces first? I bought this from Amazon and I'm putting a link for it in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. I'm excited to take this and do my projects with it. I think this is going to work really well. And now onto the Oliso Smart Iron, which is this one. Now this one I bought from Missouri Star and it just came today. So I've taken it out of the box, but I haven't actually used it yet. Sit that back there. Again, it comes with a user manual. I have read that. Haven't used the iron. And here is the iron, which is really very pretty, I think. I like that. I'm actually going to stand it on this cloth because I don't want to scratch that plate underneath before I even start using it. It's still got its plastic on here holding the lead. So let's just take that off, and the little guards over the plug. You can tell I haven't used this yet. So the things that look good about this is it has this 360-degree rotating cord. I think that'll really work well for when you're using this for quilting. Over here, this is for the steam. Just switch this across. 2 buttons for steam burst and spray. This is for the heat that you want the iron on. I'll probably just have this on cotton. I have to confess I don't do a whole lot of ironing except for quilting. This water tank fills, it opens up there and you put your water inside. You can see really well how much you've got, and there is a max fill line. And it says it takes 2 little containers of water, and this is the container that it comes with. So you could see how I could actually use this as well for the small iron. So I'd fill that up, pour it in there twice, and it would be good to go. Let's close that back up again. Here's the spray nozzle for stubborn creases. And then the bottom plate is ceramic, and you can see the steam holes right there. And it looks like this one might be made especially for Missouri Star, seeing as their logo is on the bottom of it. Now, I haven't tried this out yet, but this one has one of those lift-up plates. So in a minute I'm going to turn it on and we'll look at that lifting up and see how that works. Now, I didn't buy anything to stand this on, and I'm going to have to buy something because I'm not set up very well for an iron without a proper stand. I'll take you over here and show you my ironing board. Jess, why are you sitting on my ironing board? Look at that. It says that it needs to be on a stable base. So on the end of my ironing board, I do have this to stand the iron on, but I wouldn't call that a stable base. So I think what I need is a proper stand, probably another silicone one like the small iron is standing on, so that I can sit it on my ironing board. All right, let's put some water in here and try out the steam. I haven't plugged it in yet, haven't even taken this little thing off. Guess I need to pull this off. There we go. All right, I'll unwrap that cord in a minute, but first let's open up this spout and use this little container that they provide. Pour some water in here. I really don't use steam that much, but I do have some very scrunched up fabric scraps that need steam on them. I'll go ahead and take this off and plug this in. Oh, this has a really long cord. That's really good. I like that. Didn't realise it was so long when I bought this. If you think I didn't do much research on this iron, you're right. I bought it just from recommendations from a friend, really, more than anything. You know, when you trust people, they tell you something's good, you tend to go ahead and believe people that you know. Now, I'm ironing over here on this little pad. This is a... Ooh, did you see that? Took me by surprise. This is a pad that I take to... sorry, that threw me off. This is a pad that I take to my sewing group, and I iron on it there. And the reason I'm not doing it on my ironing board is because as I'm ironing, it shakes the ironing board. And I did that earlier and almost knocked my camera off it. I need to set this to linen and cotton because I'm going to use steam. And nearly all quilting fabric is cotton anyway. That's most of what I'm going to be ironing. So I'm just waiting for it to heat up. You see that little light there flashing? Once that stops flashing, that means that it's hot enough to use. And then this little lever here, I have to turn that to steam to make it work. I'm just putting it on low steam for the moment. We'll see how that goes. Okay, that iron has stopped flashing now. Did you see how it went down? Evidently, when you touch the handle, that makes it go down. If I let go, it pops it back up again. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So I have some fabric here that's fairly creased up. So let's go ahead and see how it does ironing this fabric. Well, it's doing a really good job on that. That's one thing I'm going to have to get out of the habit of doing. Okay, this one's a little bit more creased up. Let's try that one. This really does iron really well. Wow. Okay, this one's a bit more scrunched. Looks like this one's been folded a really long time. Again, this is good, no problems there. This one's fairly creased up. This iron does have the spray feature, which I don't know if you can see that it's such a fine spray. It's coming out of this little grey nozzle here when I press this button. So let's give it another little spray. Let's try the steam burst. I'm not hearing anything. Okay. There we go. Okay, so obviously I didn't have this little selector turned up high enough. I wasn't sure if it was steaming or not, but now when I press this button, can you hear that? So it actually is steaming, you just don't hear it unless you pick it up. Again, these are just things I'm going to have to get used to with this iron. But I just think this works really well. And up to now, I'm really happy with it. Definitely have to get used to this up and down thing. That's really cool though. All right, let me unplug it. I did decide to send for a stand to put it on, and this has just come. Let me lift it up so you can see it. I got it from Missouri Star. I figured it would fit the iron better than getting one from somewhere else. It's silicone, and that should give it a stable base. As you can see, it just stands on there, fits well. I think that's going to work okay. So definitely a 5-star review for this one too. I'm really happy with both of these irons. This is the first actual quilt top I used the Oliso on. It worked great. This quilt is another colourway of a strip quilt I've made before. I'll add a link to the video at the end if you want to make it. Okay, thanks for watching.